Good morning, guys. You're on the new dash cam. It's finally here. Tennessee bow season came in today, and I was debating on whether or not I was going to go or not, because I have a show to play tonight in Kentucky, and it'll be a late night drive home. I set my alarm. I woke up, and that was going to be my litmus test. How do I feel? And I literally could not go back to sleep. So whether I went out hunting or stayed at home, I was going to get the same amount of sleep. And I thought, you know what? I think I better sit in the woods. So this will be my first morning with a GoPro and my secondary camera set up with a tripod to see if I could capture anything interesting on film. Hopefully get a doe, and that everything goes smoothly as far as the shot placement goes and everything, so that I don't have to call a friend to track the deer this afternoon while I'm in Kentucky. So Lord, we ask that you would have mercy on us. But I feel kind of stirred up to be in the woods. Going to a small piece of public land that is well, I'm not going to give too many clues about it, but it has a lot of deer in it, and it's kind of right under a bunch of people's noses, and hopefully, Lord willing, run into a mature doe. But I also feel like this area, there's a way that the food has moved this year, where the corn is right up next to a really nice bedding area that's normally full of bucks, and being this early in the season, I have a feeling that I could run into a late bachelor group, or even just a lone buck going late to bed. So I think I'm gonna probably shoot the first thing that walks by and gives me a good camera angle, because it's not gonna be an easy task to film and shoot a whitetail off the ground. And we need some meat for the freezer. So we'll see you out there. Well, quick change of plans. For the very first time, found a hunter in this spot, and it looked like an older man with his son. The son was going out to scope it out with a light, and he was going in right after him. So they're gonna find a lot of deer sign, I know that much. So I'm making a quick move. It's gonna be a little bit of a throw together. This is the only other spot that I could possibly hunt with this wind, and unfortunately it's a spot that I normally need my hip waders to get in, and I've only got my regular boots because I wasn't planning to go here. So I might get a little wet this morning, and if so, that's all right. See you in the woods. One of the main tools that I utilize hunting off the ground, and something you have to have, are some version of these garden clippers. You can make your blind with it and really help cover yourself up. It also really helps walking into the woods with it so that you can walk in quietly in the morning. other side. It's kind of a drainage from the Cumberland. And then directly in front of me is a very thick cutover where they logged it maybe 3 years ago. And so it's just turned into briars and really thick brush. And in between the creek and that bedding area is kind of an open pathway with cedars and red oaks that open up the ground floor. My wind is cutting diagonally back towards the creek. Most of the nighttime activity is out this way. Quite a ways out that way is a large bean field. Probably 600 yards that way is a huge bean field that they spend most of the whole night in. My expectation is that the deer will come from this direction. I kind of wished I would have got closer that way. Because I'm not on the main funnel into this bedding area. I'm just in kind of a finger that maybe % of the deer that come to bed back here come through. But I did see some early rubs through here. And this trail that I'm on, so it'll pass right here, historically always has huge rubs in here. shot it then. I drew back when it spooked and held for quite a while. They're still standing up there. They honestly might even come back down here. And I held so long. Then I had to draw down because it wasn't standing broadside. And then once it got broadside, I let the arrow go, and I went right under it. I think my arms were just tired. That's a successful morning for a first morning sit. And it is not over. They didn't blow very loud, and they're actually moving back this way. Curious. I doubt they'll come in close enough for a shot, but who knows? Now that I am editing this video, I am noticing that something odd happened to my arrow. And I either plucked the string funny, which made me go knock high, and then the broadhead drug the arrow down quite a ways, or I hit some sort of a limb on my way out to the deer. You'll see that here. And I don't really understand what happened, but definitely something odd. So that was an interesting hunt. Obviously, I think I will have already shared that the first spot that I went to hunt was occupied. Public land problems. So I had one more spot to go to. The deer did exactly what I thought they were going to do. There was red oaks in this little draw, and there was a bunch of acorns right next to a bedding area. And my thought was that they would come from the north of me to get ready to head into bed, and that they would stop by in the open area where the red oaks were dropping acorns. And that's what they did. But they got a little too close for comfort. I was set back about 15 yards off the trail, but it just decided that I looked kind of curious. So it came over to 4 yards, which is pretty fun, actually. It always gets me shaking when they're that close. Part of it's just getting excited that there's a deer, and another part is the awareness that if you move at all, they're gonna get you. And once you feel that, then you move because you start shaking like crazy. So I tried to draw back when it was too close, really. I don't know what else I could have done. I guess I could have let it walk by and tried to shoot the second one. That's probably what I should have done. But once I tried to draw, then it ran, you'll see in the video, it ran out to about 18 or 19 yards, and I was already drawn back, and I just tried to hold back as long as I could to see if it would turn broadside. and it didn't while I was drawing back, so I just kind of gave up and drew my bow back down. And both the deer got really nervous then, and the deer that I was getting ready to shoot turned broadside, so I drew back, and I could just feel, after holding as long as I did the first time, that it really wore me out. And I don't know if I short drew. I think I short drew. And my left and right was perfect, but it just shot about 8 inches low, maybe, and went right under its belly, which it never feels good to miss, but it feels a lot better than wounding a deer. Wounding a deer is the worst feeling ever. Missing is a close second, but yeah, this was a successful morning for me, because in all honesty, it would have been very difficult if I would have shot that deer to get it to the processor in time for me to leave to play a show in Kentucky. So this is the best story that could have happened. Got to see a deer within 4 yards. Got a shot off. Didn't wound it. And clean miss, which means I don't potentially risk missing my show tonight.